Hello, and welcome to RollBound. My name is Chas, and I am the DM for this wonderful group. We're going to go down the list and everyone introduce themselves, starting off with Groove. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Chronoharist Mobius.
Alrighty, and Allie.
Hello, I am Allie. I am bound to the role of Charybdis Mobius.
Alrighty, Minnow.
Hello, my name is Minnow. I am bound to the role of Lady Reverie.
Awesome. Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I'm bound to the role of Maria.
And last but never least, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I am bound to the role of Winfrey McNeil.
As we are starting the morning once again in Firefall, before the sun even fully reaches in the sky, the city is already filled to the brim with activity. There are already the sounds of people wandering the streets going about their daily business. You can already hear the sounds of businesses opening and people just waiting to get inside. The sounds of all the marketplaces and the surrounding area just flaring to life. And then at the beginning of every morning in Firefall, there is a very loud sort of, I don't know how to explain it, like a horn that goes off very early in the morning at exactly 8 a.m.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And it rings out throughout the entire city at exactly 8 a.m.
Oh, I hate that.
And within the Cat's Whiskers Diner and Cafe, there is already the sounds of meowing and people giggling at said meowing at this early in the morning. All of your rooms are fitted with very comfortable beds. The quilts kind of look like grandma quilts, by the way. It's like multiple, like, smaller blankets or pieces of smaller blankets stitched together to make one big one with very plush underside to it.
I'm a huge fan.
Like, every one of the end rooms looks like it's from Grandma's house. Just shoved into a smaller room. But with that, who would wake up first out of the lot of you?
Believe
Probably
Maria.
right? Yeah, because she only has to rest for 4 hours.
Yeah, probably.
Maria's probably been up for a hot minute by the time everybody else gets up.
Maria's like, I like to pretend that I'm never awake, actually. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, Maria, since at least 3 people put you on the spot, how does the start of your day go?
Maria probably would have been up around, like, I don't know, what time do we probably go to bed?
I think y'all retired at like 9 p.m., maybe a little before. Pretty early.
Okay, so Maria probably would have been like, up since like 1 or like 2 a.m. And she's probably just like been wandering around the city.
Alright, I can work with that.
Oh no.
Maria, as you're walking, you sort of bump shoulders with someone who just goes, oh, sorry. And then continues going, but then you hear a voice actually going, watch where you're going, you fucking idiot. You literally walked right into her. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. You were distracting me. But the voice just kind of taper off.
Okay, after that, I think I would be more cautious to see if someone was like following me.
Make me
Or
a
if I
perception check.
Not saw that person again. Yeah, that's a 12.
You don't see those 2 people again, but like maybe about 5 minutes after you see them, it jogs in your memory that those people have been described to you before.
Oh shit. Can I turn around and try to find them again?
Yeah, make me an investigation check.
That's a 19.
As you're walking, you go, wait a fucking minute, and you turn your happy ass right back around to go try to find the individuals, and again, after about 10-ish minutes, since they gained more distance, you do find yourself walking behind them, and you do see that there is a man with purple hair that's kind of like fluffy, goes about to the bottom of his ears, standing with someone much taller than him that is a firbolg. You can see his little antlers, and you can even see a sort of green glow coming from the firbolg as well. And you remember Sparks, when you were on the Siren Song, describing the visage of 2 individuals that are like such.
I don't think I would approach them. I think, I would probably just follow them a bit, trying to keep, like, not unnoticeable, but not, like, noticeable.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going on a stroll, but then you hear the purple-haired one go, do you think Lady Saryna found the people she was looking for? And the taller one looks down at him and goes, I don't fucking know. We couldn't find them. I think maybe her little friend might have, but if not, then she's fucking crazy and her thing is not going to go very well for her. And the purple-haired one replies, you are so negative. And then they resume.
I think at that point, I would probably call out to them and be like, hey, stop.
The two of them stop. It seems like they stop, like, you see the shorter one, like, raise his shoulders like he's been caught doing something, but then he turns around and goes, oh, ugh, I thought you were a guard. I didn't know Firefall had a curfew, but it seems I was incorrect. He, like, sort of looks at the Firbolg next to him and sort of, like, flares his coat a little bit and looks back to you, Maria, and goes, can we help you with anything?
You were just talking about, Lady Saryna?
Were we talking about Lady Saryna, Ackerley? The Firbolg looks and goes, you're so stupid. She literally hurt us. Alright, fair enough. Yes, we were. Are you acquainted?
Slightly. How do you know her exactly?
Well, she hired us at some point, and then the Firbolg, like, elbows him and goes, alright, you have to... Like, they're just sort of bickering with each other until eventually the purple-haired one kind of, like, shoves the other one and steps forward a little bit and go, yes, we were hired by her about 2 months ago.
Are you the person that got her the wish spell?
She's a loud one, isn't she? Yes. I am.
Can I ask how much she paid you for that?
She paid a handsome amount, I can tell you that. She paid me and then, like, Ackerley gets up and, like, covers his mouth and goes, a lot! She paid us a lot. Why is that any of your business?
Well, whatever she saw and with the wish spell had to do with me and some other people, so I guess I have some kind of right to know more about it.
And he's, like, still covering the purple-haired one's mouth, who's just sitting there going, and, the one who you suppose his name is Ackerley, as that's what he's been called, is like, yeah, well, you know, business is business. We got paid, she got her wish. After that, it has really nothing to do with either of us. Right, Wester?
Yet you go on the siren song. What year was it? Looking for something?
And how'd you get that information, I ponder?
Well, you know, people on ships aren't very tight-lipped, so...
Yes, fair enough. We do. We have our own reasons. What does that have to do with you?
Oh, nothing, I suppose. You're just wandering around. I mean, you guys did bump into me, so it was almost like you wanted me to pay attention to you, so...
No, unfortunately, the world is full of wacky coincidences, and Wester is an idiot. And again, you hear...
Well, can I make some kind of, like, can I make, like, an insight check on these guys?
Yeah, go right ahead.
That's a 15.
I got a 12. So, you're looking at, I would assume Ackerley more specifically, since he's the one you're having a conversation with currently. And, you can definitely tell that, well, you can obviously tell without even rolling, that there are definitely details that they're keeping from you, but Ackerley does seem to be very insistent on you not questioning him. By, you know, taking the, it's none your business route with the things you ask. Implying that he probably knows a little more about what's going on with y'all than he's letting on. Wester, though, seems willing to tell you, it's just his mouth is being covered.
Okay, then I am going to cast suggestion on... Fuck, what's his name again? The Firbolg?
Ackerley.
Ackerley, to take his hands off of him.
Alright, that's a wisdom save for me, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a wisdom save.
Ooh. That is an 8.
Ooh, you failed.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 4.
So, as I was saying, if you know something about me, I think I have the right to know.
Yeah, you see Ackerley, like, strain to keep his hand covering Wester's, face. And it slowly gets pulled off, and then you see Wester, like, step away from, Ackerley, and then you see him take out this very large, staff. It kind of looks like he yoinked a branch right off of a tree, and it's covered in, like, swirly blue markings, and there's a ball sort of rotating, levitating above the branch, surrounded by these, like, half-circle, also assumedly branches that just sort of rotate around it without having any actual connecting point. And he looks at Ackerley and goes, "Oh, well, that won't do," and then, like, bonks him on the head with it. And Ackerley goes, "Ah! Oh, God damn it!" And then Wester goes, "Ah, right. So, we don't know exactly that much about you, per se, or any of your companions. However, it seems that Ackerley, Lady Saryna, and I all have a very similar goal. We're trying to find something. Saryna wanted help finding it. We helped. You see, the reason we go on the Siren Song once a year is we also had weird visions when both of us were younger," and Wester, like, puts his hand on Ackerley's shoulder, very gently. There's almost an implication that these two might be a couple. Wester goes, "But it seems that Lady Saryna and both of us saw the same people in our visions. I didn't get my visions from a wisp spell. I had a horrible bout of nightmares when I was a child, and I saw the faces of people who, at the time, some of them were not even born yet. And so, I knew that I would meet them on the sea. The Siren Songs is the most well-known vessel to travel the seas. So, when Ackerley found ourselves in a position to do so, we would go on there once a year, thinking maybe we would see the faces of our visions. I know that isn't a ton of information, but it's the information that I can give to you."
Okay. Well, that's very unhelpful. And then she's gonna turn and walk away.
"Our paths will cross again, for sure. Come, Ackerley, we have things to do." And you hear, even as you're walking away, Ackerley's grumbling, like, "God fucking..."
Yeah, okay, yeah, after that, she probably would just return to the cat's whiskers and just, like, wait for everyone to wake up.
Fair enough. So, for the, excuse me. You know, actually, at around, like, 6-ish, Maria, you will see Saryna sort of descend down the stairs and look around and then see you and go, "Oh, is, nobody else awake?"
Not that I thought, no.
Huh.
I think like maybe a minute or so after Saryna comes down, Charybdis would be up. She's used to waking up early. It's kind of part of her job.
Saryna, like, you see her kind of pointy ears, like, twitch, like, a little after she asked that question, and she, like, looks up and goes, "Oh, they're getting up. Wonderful."
Yeah, Charybdis would begin walking down the stairs, and Maria would see that her hair is like all fucked up, and she hasn't even put it up yet. It's just kind of dangling past her shoulders. She looks quite tired.
"You look fatigued, Charybdis."
Yep. Didn't sleep well.
"Well, maybe we can get some tea in you or some coffee and maybe a good hearty breakfast and you'll feel a little better."
Sounds wonderful.
And I think at this point she realizes that, she hasn't fixed her hair yet, so she uses prestidigitation to conjure up what appears to be an ornate comb and just starts, like, brushing through her hair before putting it up in her signature hairstyle.
Well then, Saryna sort of walks towards the more open area of the diner. It's already quote-unquote opened at around 6, but, like, nobody's in here just yet. The sun is barely starting to come out. It's, like, a little lighter outside. There's, of course, a different waitress behind the counter who's, like, looking at the lot of y'all and just goes, "Well, you're all up early. Goodness me." This one is like a little half-orc girl, but she has a very potent, which I will not do for that long or at all, French accent, so we can pretend.
Also, what's Maria's passive perception?
It is 11.
Okay. Yeah, if it's open for, like, ordering food and shit, Charybdis, would get, if possible, would like some eggs and toast.
Oh, yeah. The little, again, half-orc barkeep just kind of, looks over and starts, like, writing stuff down, and Saryna just goes, prepare a group meal, please. I've already paid for it, right? And the half-orc goes, oh, yes. You still have a room for 2 days. Is there any way... never mind. That was in the paperwork, I suppose. Carry on.
Is there a problem, Lady Saryna?
Oh, I paid for this room a little longer than we'll be staying, and I was going to ask if there was any way I could get said money back for the room days I'm not staying, but that's in the paperwork that any payments are final. It's all right, really. I just didn't know how long I'd be waiting, or if I would have to wait forever, so I maybe overcompensated a little bit, but now I'm flat broke. It'll be fine, though, truly.
So if I may ask, Lady Saryna...
Yes?
What are your intentions from here on out? I mean, you wanted to find us, and you did. You want us to help you find your homeland, and we are. But I assume you're not coming with us. No offense, but you don't exactly look seasoned.
You're right, no, I would slow you down, definitely. I am less than a fighter, for sure. I feel like... She kind of, like, looks down at herself. I feel like at one point I was, but I can't recall my own talents. I know I can use magic. I feel like I have this. She kind of, like, flexes her arm. And, like, she is fairly muscular, so she, like, flexes real quick and goes, I feel like at one point I was good with a weapon. But then she sort of, like, lets her arm fall sort of dramatically, like, looking at her own body as if she longs to know something about it that she can't figure out.
This is a stretch, but would it be possible to make some sort of check to see if Charybdis could tell how powerful of a magic user this person could potentially be?
Make me an Arcana check.
Okay, just straight intelligence Arcana?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ooh, not great. 8.
Yeah, you look at her and you know, she looks like a lady, and she got arms.
Actually, if I may, I think what happens is Charybdis starts to examine her and, you know, kind of get a feel for it. And then Lady Saryna would see this mark, this glowing, like, infinity symbol just start glowing red hot on Charybdis's wrist, and she, like, reaches down and, like, covers it and, like, just grimaces as if it's actively hurting her.
Did you hurt yourself?
Oh, yeah, I burned myself earlier. It's fine.
No. Did you want me to go ask the people that run this place for some bandages?
No, that's quite alright. Just smarts is all.
Fair enough. But my intentions from here on out... I believe after I go with you on this small journey to... What is it called again?
Rarendelle?
No, your home.
Oh, Lysince?
Yes. I believe I will find some place to... wait.
I'll see what I can do. It's quite possible that if I talk to my family, you could say it our family's estate for some time.
That would be very kind of you. Truly. But my intentions... I have to get home, but I don't know what's going on at my home. Or maybe I am truly crazy and my home doesn't exist. Either way, if we find that out, then hopefully it was worth the traveling, I suppose.
I suppose you're right.
I've been meaning to ask you, Charybdis. What is it of this contact of yours? How do you know him?
Oh, Charybdis kind of looks away. And there's a hesitation.
She says, he's an old friend.
Oh, well that's magnificent. Then, since he's nobility, I'm sure we won't have too hard of a time talking to him.
Yes, you are correct.
I'm sure it won't be as easy from here on out whenever we need something, so this is at least a good start.
I am kind of concerned how we're going to get you there in the first place, though.
Well, I walked all the way from High Friar to here, so I'm not totally useless.
Between you and me, I have the sneaking suspicion that something is after me. Or more specifically, my brother.
She, looks up the stairs as if she's looking at Chrono Harris, as if he's a part of the conversation, and then looks away and goes, I understand. I get feelings like that too sometimes, but I'm sure yours have a little more, truth in them.
All I'm saying is, if things get rough, I don't want you to be injured. Or worse yet, killed.
You don't have to. She, gently pats you on the head and goes, you don't have to worry about me, Charybdis. That will just add to your stresses that I'm sure a young girl like you already has.
You don't know the half of it. Anyway, the others should be getting up soon, hopefully.
Hopefully. I made sure to get a larger breakfast for those who couldn't order in time. The food here is quite lovely. The half-orc, while Charybdis and Saryna are having this conversation, the half-orc comes out and she has, she's, bringing out plates and silverware, and she sets down Charybdis's breakfast, and then she sets down both a teapot and a coffee pot, and then a few, she sets down these little things that look like they're closed, flowers, like a flower before it blooms, and she sets them on various particular spots on the table, and then you see her get out this little object that looks like a kitten paw, a fake one, obviously, ceramic, and then she clicks it, and the bigger paw pad sets on fire, and she slowly lights each tip of the petal, and then after about 3 seconds, the flowers unfold and suddenly expand into plates that have a bunch of food on them.
What?
They unfold and go, shoop! And then there's just platters of, 2 platters of breakfast food. And then she goes, oh, those are so useful. Anyway, enjoy. Let me know if you need anything. And then she walks away. And Saryna, claps her hands, I love when they do that.
Charybdis just gives, kind of a, not bad, sort of nod, and then starts eating her breakfast.
Yeah, Saryna will, walk over to, where the stairs start and, stand on her hind legs and then tap the ceiling. Then go, it's time to wake up! Come on!
I'll be sleeping like a log, I did.
She said to herself in her empty room.
I just assumed that Winfrey said that so loud that just Saryna could hear it. She'll tap on the ceiling again and go, come on now, come.
Cornelius' door opens, and he is fully dressed, has clearly been awake for some time, and he walks down with all of his belongings.
Oh, good morning, Colonel Harris. You got ready quickly.
Walks past her and sits at the table.
All right.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Charybdis. How did you sleep?
Just fine, thank you.
Good. Eat quickly. We must leave soon.
Of course.
Saryna sits down and then looks at Colonel Harris and goes, "So, Colonel Harris, what about you with these people we're going to be meeting? How do you know them? Same as your sister? They're just friends?"
They are friends of my sister, certainly. They seem to have an odd, fantastical interest in things they can't see or touch.
Interesting. I don't know about this family that you speak of.
I'm assuming you don't. Maria, I know elves wake up earlier than humans. Have you seen anything so far?
How exactly?
Anyone who is trying to threaten my life? Your life?
Nope. Nope. And she's just shaking her head.
DM, can I insight check Maria?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
Maria, you can counter that if you would like to.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's a 16 on insight.
That is 23 on deception.
Can I silvery barbs that?
What?
What does that do?
Can you do that to
Because I can do it if somebody succeeds on an ability check.
That's bullshit.
Barb shit? I mean, if you want to try it, go for it.
I would like to. So, Maria, go ahead and re-roll that and take the lower roll.
23.
Bruh!
You know, it was a long shot. I am trying to have a contest of this with a bard, so, you know, it's par for the course, I guess, but I had to try.
Woo!
Oh yeah, right. She's a bard.
Yeah, I think,
Lying people
yeah, Maria probably has expertise
that
in
lie.
Yeah, I think
Gesundheit.
as Maria goes
Thank you.
to say no to that question, there's a bit of for a brief moment there's a forceful presence and then a lingering ticking of clocks around her, but she manages to keep her composure.
Yeah, everyone pretty much goes to sleep early, I guess. I walked around like 2, and there wasn't really anyone out.
Fair enough.
At this point, do Winfrey or Reverie come down at all?
Yeah.
Reverie was probably up around like 5:30ish. And as soon as, the sun is peering up, she rolls out of bed, and basically collides with the floor, one hand down, and goes through her routine of doing her one-handed push-ups, doing her sit-ups, doing her squats, her lunges, all the things that she does every fucking morning that she really doesn't like that much. However, every time that she does it, there's almost this sense of, like, calm or peace that she gets. Not from herself, but just that sort of emotion that washes over, like, yes, this is correct. This is what we do every morning. And then she goes to, at some point, probably around when Charybdis first headed downstairs, she goes to step out, but then notices that she fucking reeks. And so, having sweat and not bathed in a decent amount of time, since the siren song probably. So she is currently sitting in a very large bubble bath, sort of like you see in The Witcher, or like Red Dead 2. So when Lady Saryna was pounding on the floor, she was underwater, blowing bubbles, having a great time. But at a certain point, she hears the pounding some more and gets up and will come down a few minutes later, a little, puddle of soap still stuck in her hair behind her ears. Or her ear, the one that's left.
And Reverie has a tail.
And what do you mean? Reverie's always had a tail.
I think as Charybdis sees Reverie coming down and probably notices the bubbles, she'd use prestidigitation to just subtly get the bubbles out of Reverie's hair.
Yeah, she doesn't notice.
And then she says, "Good morning, Lady Reverie."
Oh, hi, Charybdis. Where are the cats?
Charybdis just kind of looks around, and presumably there's cats fucking everywhere.
Yeah, actually, Lady Reverie, a cat comes up to you, that its left ear is missing, and it just sort of walks up to you, and he's a really chunky cat. He's like a chunky orange cat that's missing one of his ears, and he just waddles up and sits next to you, and then leans his cheek against your fake leg.
Cool. I'll reach down to pick him up if you would like.
Oh, he let you. This is a...
Okay.
You know, those pillows that are made out of, that have, sand in them instead of actual, stuffing? Or,
sure,
beads, not sand. It's like picking up one of those. He just kind of, just adjusts to being picked up.
So, she picks him up and expects it to be easier than it is, but her arm is still really fucking sore from all the push-ups. So she kind of and then goes and sits down. And looks over and says, "So are we going?"
We should be
Colonel
leaving
Harris
soon.
stands. Yes, we're going.
Great. Did we get breakfast?
I don't know. He pops a good berry into his mouth, and we'll walk out to the cart.
Yeah, Saryna's gesturing to the platters of food and goes, ma'am. And the half-orc lady looks over and goes, "Yes? Can we get some to go?" "Sure."
Charybdis has already eaten the breakfast that she ordered for herself, by the way.
I'm sure.
She's fucking hungry.
Can you throw my over medium eggs into a burlap sack, please?
No, you'll see. So, the half-orc lady comes back out, and she's she has long hair that goes down in a singular braid down her back, and it has flowers and then little kitten decals in it, as if she put a barrette in her hair and it has a kitten on it. And again, wearing cutesy little almost maid outfit, and you see her again with with what looks like a flower that's not yet bloomed, and then you see her pull out the little kitten thing again and set the tip on fire, and then she sets it down face down over the food, and then the food seems to shrink and disappear, and then the flower piece closes again. And she holds it out and goes, "Who wants to hold it? I don't know who's taking it."
What does the cat look like again? Or sorry, that's not the cat, that's the food. I'm stupid. Dude, I want to cry.
Are you okay, Jack?
I'm not. I'm fine. I'm okay.
So what was your question?
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, she looks around and then just hands it to Charybdis, since she's closer.
Charybdis takes it, and
Since I know it's a little special, the activation is just to set the tip of it a little bit on fire, and then it'll open up and all of your food will come out. They last about 5 days.
Good to know, thank you.
Saryna will stand up and go, "Well, I will, meet the rest of you outside then."
Charybdis goes with her.
Do the rest
Lady
of you...
Reverie.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Lady Reverie gets 3 steps outside before remembering that she's holding the cat. And then we'll run back inside and put it down, give him a little pat, and head out.
Outside, Chrono Harris is holding one of the reins of the cart, and he has this grim expression on his face.
I'm gonna roll to see if Saryna notices that you look uncomfy. Unless you make it obvious.
Oh yeah, it's not... Well, yeah, I guess it would be hard to see.
At this point, Winfrey finally comes downstairs. Looking pristine. She's gonna look over at all the rest of the party members who are currently gathering at the door. She goes, "Hey, you all better not be thinking about leaving me, now."
Oh, good morning, Winfrey. We're leaving. We had breakfast inside this small thing.
Oh, alright.
I don't get it either, it's fine.
She's gonna
Oh, go ahead.
very, 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 very confusedly just squint. And then shake her head and remember the party that she's with and walk out the door.
Saryna watches Winfrey walk outside and goes, "Well, you can always sit in the back of the cart and still enjoy your breakfast." Fair enough. And Saryna doesn't get in the cart. She kind of just stands next to like one of the horses and just sits. And she looks at the cart and she's like, "I believe having me in there would be a bit of a squeeze."
Now, remind me, is Saryna wearing armor or anything?
Nope.
Okay. So I think Charybdis, before getting in the cart, would walk over to her and just be like, "Apologies." And then Saryna would see that glowing mark once again appear on Charybdis's wrist, and then just kind of send a very fast pulse through her arm that travels through the rest of her skin and just visibly hardens it for a second. But I'm going to use my twin spell meta magic. Charybdis is going to place her left hand on Saryna, and then as that pulse of light goes through her left hand, it then goes through Saryna's body as well, giving her mage armor.
Saryna visibly shudders and goes, "Ah! Oh. Thank you."
You're welcome.
Chrono Harris, still with that grim expression, turns to Charybdis and says, "There's a problem."
What's that?
I don't know how to drive a cart.
I can drive.
Right then.
Problem resolved, and you will climb into the cart.
I think Charybdis just hops in with him, and then just pats him on the shoulder and says, "It's okay, brother. We don't expect you to know everything. At least not yet."
As Chrono hears, as you step into the back of the cart, you look over and you see Lady Reverie, and she sees you and smiles a big smile, and scoots over and pats the seat next to her.
Chrono Harris is going to go and sit up near the driver to try and learn how to drive a cart. And Dr. Agartha goes and takes a seat next to you, Reverie.
Excellent. Even better. I hang out with Agartha.
Talk is going
Doctor.
to sit on Reverie's other side.
Damn, this is a good fucking day. Let's go. Bathe me in familiars.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me all the goody two-shoes are sitting at the front of the cart? Oh my god, being on the inside of a cart has never felt so good.
Winfrey sits at the back of the cart throwing paper balls at people. And doing the... like everyone does at the back of the bus.
Writing bad words into the side of the bus. Penis.
I'm taking a mechanical pencil and I'm like putting the lead out all the way to where it breaks, and then I'm gonna like use the lead and like carve into the seat.
Yeah, gonna write fuck on the canvas of the
Yeah, I'm gonna do like a bunch
here.
I'm gonna do a bunch of like skater S's. I'm gonna do the fancy ones that have the 3D shading.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I see you're a woman of culture.
Of course.
Yeah, so Saryna, who again does not get into the cart because she too hefty big, looks up at... It was Maria who said that she was gonna drive, right?
Yeah.
Saryna looks up at Maria and goes, I should be able to keep up. So whenever you're ready, I believe we're all set.
Okay. Maria would get into the driver's seat and whip those reins.
Is there anyone else sitting up with Maria?
Yes, Chrono Harris is looking
Oh, you're in the
intently.
driver's seat. Gotcha. I thought you were at the front
Yeah.
of the car. I understand now. Thank you.
Yeah, and Saryna is walking alongside horses. Can't substitute a horse, but like she can walk with them.
Yeah, I think Charybdis would be. How's this cart set up, by the way? Is like the driver's seat like just a bench?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Chrono Harris and Maria are up on the bench, and I think if this is a thing that can happen, Charybdis is just kind of like sitting halfway under the canopy and then halfway outside the cart, so she can kind of keep an eye on everybody at once.
Yeah, like leaning on like the very like back end, well technically front end of the cart, peeking head out the canvas to look to be with the people in the driver's seat, but then also enough to be still inside the cart to be with everyone. Yeah, I get what you mean. Totally. That could totally happen. Because the canvas only wraps around the sides, so like the front areas have a little bit going over to where it's like in a half circle window almost, but
Gotcha.
can still look out of it basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind, so am glad. And yeah, we get underway.
Yeah, and you are traversing the city of Firefall proper for a long time.
I bet.
So it's just, you're going through the city of Firefall, because again, this is going to take up a good portion of your journey for the first leg of the journey. And the city is beautiful. You do take note that, like, a lot of things are fire-themed. I guess this would mainly be for the people in the front. If anyone can even see out the back of the cart when passing parts of the city, it's gorgeous. It kind of maintains that nice stone streets with the sort of banners hanging between, you know, posts. And the houses all have that sort of cute, live in the middle of nowhere western cottage vibe, except they're all in a city and more close together. You pass by quite a few plazas that, you know, all have like a bunch of market stalls and people hanging around in them and working. It's a very lovely city. And again, everything's fire themed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light it up. I didn't mean like that.
Joey single-handedly about to reignite the trauma of everyone that lives in the city.
No, I would never.
Yeah, you would never. Yeah, like after about the first, I believe, would be 6 to 8 hours. You start right there. Yeah, by 6, by like hour 5 of your journey, you get to the part of the city where it's a lot. The buildings start to get bigger. You know, like there's you can tell that this is, I guess, quote unquote, where all the, again, quote unquote, rich people live. This is definitely a wealthier half of the city. Actually, Chrono Harris Charybdis or Maria, I don't care which, or all of you, make me a perception check real quick.
Good.
9.
9.
I got an 11.
Cornelius got a 16.
Yeah, so Colonel Harris, you know, as you're going through the city, at some point you notice that at the very end of the city, which is, it still looks like it's a pretty long trek away, but you can still see it because it towers over everything. There is a huge castle nearing the northernmost borders of the city, because the borders aren't physical, so I had to think of a word. And it is huge, because you can see it over the rest of the city. That's how large it is, and it just kind of towers into the sky. And then there's, on the outside of said castle, there are 4 towers respectively on each corner of its walls, because the castle is kind of walled in, as it's just so large. And it itself almost kind of gives the overarching feeling of a towering flame, as its peaks and its roofing are all very brilliant orange, kind of glow in the light of the sun. It's a almost, I wouldn't say golden, but it has this very warm presence to it that's almost, I don't want to say intimidating, but looming. It is a very present building for how far away it
What
is.
does Chrono Harris recognize this castle to be?
Give me a history check.
Got it. Boom. It's going to be a total of 18.
Yeah, Chrono Harris, you know this to be Firefall's Phoenix Castle. And something you know about this place is that this castle, about 100 years ago, was burned to the ground. Completely. By some sort of monster that attacked the city. And when the monster attacked, no one has any idea why. They still don't know what it was, but it specifically targeted the castle and burned it to the ground.
Whoa.
Nobody survived, nothing was left. And this is the rebuilt version of the castle that out of 50 out of the 100 years since it was burned down, it took to rebuild it.
Okay. Interesting. So he will not remark on this, he'll keep it to himself. But inform Maria that the castle is ahead.
Oh, another thing is, the entire time you're going through the city, on the right, you can still see that sort of clashing architecture of the other city that borders on Firefall from another country. And it's very cool to see, because it's like you go from these sort of like red colored buildings that, you know, are made out of stone or wood that are kind of simple looking, obviously reinforced and well made, but simple in architecture, to these like glorious, almost shimmering ivory looking buildings that just sort of tower above the ones in Firefall. It is a like stark difference. And it's a very interesting collision.
Alright. Any disruptions as we continue, or is it as scheduled?
Through the city, no. After about hour 8 of driving, maybe about hour 9, you would be, at this point, basically driving by the castle and be on your way out the other side. If there's anything y'all want to do before you leave the city.
I think about the time that we're passing the castle, Charybdis just kind of slumps over, making a very pained grimace. And once again, just that that faint sound of ticking clocks can be heard, this time by everybody on the caravan. Goes on for like a minute.
Are you alright, Charybdis?
She does not respond.
I'm in the back with her. Do you look okay?
No.
What do you look like?
She's kind of leaning against one of the walls and like is holding on to her right wrist with her left hand and shaking.
Okay. Seeing this, I assume, by the way, that because this is a very long trip through the city, during this, Lady Reverie is mostly keeping herself entertained by playing some music on the pan flute, trying to chat with people, probably getting turned down by Winfrey every time to have any conversation, but just, one of those people who can't really seem to sit still, and long rides like this are painful for her, so she's always doing something. But noticing at this point, she looks over and says, "Charybdis, what's wrong?"
You don't get any actual response, just like she's clearly trying to suppress how awful she is currently feeling, and is very much not succeeding.
I scoot across the cart to the other side, sit down next to her, like right up next to you, and kind of like do that thing where I'm like leaning over, because you said you're holding your wrist. So I'm like leaning over your shoulder trying to see your wrist. I'm like, "Charybdis,
Yeah.
what you doing?"
You can see that there's an orange light that's just kind of, even though she's covering it, is still emanating from that area on her wrist. And just occasionally you see what look to be crimson arcane pulses traveling up her veins.
Okay. Seeing that, I will hold out my right hand first, realize what I'm doing, and then hold out my left hand. And I'll say, "Can I see it?"
I think at this point she has that moment of, she's seen Reverie do healing stuff before, so she uncovers her wrist, and Reverie, you see, once again, this mark of, like, an infinity symbol that goes horizontally across Charybdis' wrist. It looks like it was put there with, like, a red-hot brand no more than a minute ago. It looks like it's red-hot to the touch.
Okay. Taking that as a yes, Lady Reverie will take the because you said you're holding up your hand so that way I can see your wrist. She will take like the back of your hand with her left one, and then like pull it a little bit closer, take a quick look at it, and she's not going to touch the area directly, but she'll go ahead and she'll pump 5 hit points of Lay on Hands. Probably won't do anything, but she'll do it. Just to see if it at least numbs the pain, but also looking very intently into this strange wound this strange wound.
And I think as Reverie does this, there is a pulse of energy that just releases from the brand, and Reverie starts getting image flashes of a lot of stuff that doesn't seem to make sense. She sees 2 silhouetted figures around what looks to be this pulsing black sphere of energy that seems to be distorting the room around it. She sees flames, and then this horizon, like, forced perspective scene of just a sea of stars for a brief second before those visions stop, and Charybdis just collapses to the floor and is now unconscious.
Okay. Boy, let me tell you, you could not have picked a better person to give random visions to. So, seemingly completely unfazed by what she just saw, she instead reaches down, will pick you up, will put 5 more hit points into you, and will say, "Maria, can we pull off to the side for a minute? Chronoheris, can I get you back here, please?"
Yeah, we'll pull over, I guess.
Does anything happen when I give you 5 hit points?
Yeah, I think, I think with that additional 5, Reverie, for just a split second, you feel what seems to be akin to like a snapping bone as a sudden like gravitational force pushes in on you. Doesn't hurt like as far as damage dealing goes, but it is uncomfortable.
Yeah, again, could not have picked a better person to give weird visions to. So, noticing this, I'm instead going to take a more medical approach. I'm going to stop right now, and then I'm going to take a look over Charybdis to make sure that she is physically okay.
Make
At this point, we'll come back.
Yeah.
Lady Reverie, make a medicine check.
Okay.
And what does Chrono Harris know is going on?
Chrono Harris has definitely seen Charybdis have issues with this mark before, but not this bad.
Alright.
Okay, I will go ahead and I will... First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a bless. I'll do it on you, Winfrey, and Chrono Harris, because I can now see him as well. And the... medicine, you said? That is a 15.
Alright, so this isn't my decision, so Charybdis on a 15.
On a 15, Lady Reverie would fully confirm that whatever this is not a physical ailment. I assume Reverie has seen the effects of, like, curses on people before.
Oh, yeah.
This very much strikes her as something akin to those lines. But this seems to have some sort of connection with whatever the source of Charybdis's abilities might be.
Okay. Do I get the impression, because the most important thing here, do I get the impression that you are dying?
Not dying, just suffering.
Okay. Well, I can only do so much. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to, seeing Chrono Harris, I'm then going to kind of like push off to the side, still holding your hand with a wrist on it, but I'm going to make space for him as well. And I'll look over and I'll say, she's stable for now, but in pain. Have you seen this before?
Certainly not to this extent.
Well then, they seem like a curious bunch, don't they, Ackerley? Well, anyhow, I know we'll see them again. Hello everyone, my name is Wester Loveland, and thank you so much for watching the 12th episode of RollBound. RollBound's episodes will premiere every Monday on YouTube and Spotify. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at RollBoundPC for more updates, TTRPG content, and most of all, memes. RollBound's content book, Chassis Guide to Kelmer, is also in the works and is set to debut in late 2022 to early 2023. Updates about that also on our Twitter. Hope everyone tunes in next week as the party tries to find out what is causing Charybdis' sudden affliction and finally breach the border into the perpetually cold country of Lysince. Hope to see you then.